Morning and
Oh,
day
that
are
would be
all
a
the
good
same
idea.
to me.
Sorry.
The time of day is all the same to me with my
Well,
job.
this won't be the last one as far as budget stuff, so. So I'll give them a good heads up on the rest of them and.
Okay, I think we're going. You don't mind if I go get food now? I'll listen.
Okay. So, I want to start, I guess, I put together, I guess I could have printed them out, Justin said something about, I didn't even think about printing them out. I don't have a terrible amount of numbers done. Some of them we're just waiting on, as far as different figures from the county, from AWC, some of those other places, but I just kind of wanted to open it up and talk about what you guys have on your mind, big purchases, plans, projects, anything like that that we would like to work into the budget before we actually see it draft. If you guys have any, I met with the public works guys just before I came in here, so I've got a pretty good list of stuff from them. And I think at the next meeting or budget workshop, whichever comes first, we can have them come in and they can maybe speak directly to you guys so that it's not through two people. But I have a list from them. Obviously, we've talked about recently water meter replacements. I want to kind of hear from you guys what other projects, what other things that you want to try to work into budget, do's and don'ts for next year.
I have one.
Go for it.
We haven't done, I don't know, I think it's been budgeted, but we haven't done it, but it's to work closer for the pothole thing. You know, like when we cut out stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I think the year that I was the mayor, the last part of that, that last year, none of it got done. And then I don't think last year, and it's too late now. So, so we have several streets that typically we have an ongoing annual like pothole repair type of thing, and it hasn't. I mean,
From water leaks or just general potholes or both?
all the above. So like Fifth Avenue or Fifth Street, where David and I live, that street needs to be fixed, but there's plenty of potholes. And then the street where I don't know the name of it. It's where Jerry Smith lives, right? I mean, the cross street in front of me,
Yep.
where it meets in those right across from the flat house.
Is that Douglas or?
Yeah.
Douglas.
What you're talking
That
about.
one's really bad, and it was supposed to be happening 3 years ago. Like, and that was something that I talked to Scott and Bunny, and we worked on it, and it just never happened. So then it got carried over to last year, which Scott didn't get it done. And so I just think that those types of things where we had done it before is important to try to stay on that. And I don't think it's a budget issue. I mean, part of it's just been consistency and getting that back on. So is try to make that a priority, though. Again, though it's not a full street replacement because that's hundreds of thousands of dollars, but
Just to keep it passable.
yeah.
Well, as I suggested meetings ago, some time ago, along those lines, but crack sealing. Fourth Street, I believe. Last night I drove down it and I think I hit a pothole, I don't know, but something, it wasn't smooth like.
There's a leak there, and so they just cut it out. And speaking of which, you need to put more gravel in that one
Which one?
on Fourth by the flat house, like,
Okay.
because it's already come out. But yeah, no, so crack seals and,
Yeah,
which we used to do too,
yeah.
but
And does anybody know, guess it'd be Main and Highway 28, where the bridge is down there. That kind of where the road's kind of a big V. Who's responsible for the potholes there? Is it the state?
State's definitely got right away there. I don't know
You know,
where that line is, but
Yeah,
it's also hard because there's a bridge there too, so it's,
the guys asked me today about cold patch material, obviously because of the time of year for right now. I gave him the go ahead to get some of that too. So that's like what you're talking about, Dave. There, if that's on our side, that's something we can throw a bag of a cold patch in, get it good enough so we can actually cut it out in patches.
Right. Did you, like Aero Construction up there, did they have different mixes for spring, summer,
Yeah.
and winter?
Yeah.
And it works pretty good. I wouldn't recommend buying an overabundance of it, because it does have somewhat of a shelf life. You can reconstitute it, but I think within a year's supply, it'd
Yeah.
be fine.
Okay, so the crack sealing that you mentioned, Dave, I mean, patching is something that we can do. Obviously, if we're doing big patches, that's something we end up renting a roller for. Smaller patches, we can deal with that. Is the crack sealing something that we want to end up, we're gonna need to rent a machine, or we're gonna pay a contractor to do that, or how, I mean, obviously, how does the council wanna go about that? Obviously, we're gonna save money if we do it, rent a machine, I'm sure is cheaper than paying a contractor to come in and crack seal, but, that's the kind of stuff as far as money goes for budget that kinda we're on some,
We'll do our guys, so in previous years on projects like that, the deciding factor was, one, do we have the physical resources? Like, do the guys know how to do that? Are they capable? Is it, and then two, is the equipment, getting that out there? And sometimes it wasn't available, because especially now, I mean, times like this, but other times it wasn't even COVID